Yep, and we are live. Hi, everyone. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to this month's, another session of Ask HR. And this is, going to be very interesting in the sense that we are talking about networking with recruiters the right way. So you have one assignment to do. If you're looking for a job, you're looking to switch jobs, you're looking to switch industries, you're just looking for a job basically. Please share with your friends, share the link with them so that they can join this session. It promises to be really exciting. And I need you to be open minded and you can learn and get that dream job of yours. Come on, this is still June. 2021 has not finished. So yes, your dream job is just this session away. After this session, please hit us up and be like, wow, I got this job, I got that job, and all of that. So please share with your friends. Don't be stingy, don't be selfish. Tell them that don't you cannot come back and tell me that I did not do anything for you because come on, this is free and knowledge. Nothing beats knowledge. Yoruba people will say ogbon. So this is ogbon that you're giving them. So yeah, once it's why is it disturbing? Once it's 2 minutes, we're going to start. If you have questions, we already have some. Some of you already sent in your questions. But if you have more, you can, put it in the comment section. We're here for you. We're here to listen. Oh, nice to be here. Hi, Omotayo. Hi, Kolapo, Hakim, Naomi, Favor. I can see everyone. Hello. It's nice to have you here too. Don't forget to share. And in 6 seconds, we're going to start. Yay, who is excited? I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Timmy, how excited are you today? You're about to dish you and Idris Sevos, right?
Don't worry, we'll do
Idris
our
has
best.
to be smiling.
We'll do
You
our
try
best
your
to say
best. You people, you need to get your pens, your books, you need to get it ready for this session today. So, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Now, as we all know, I'm going to start with Idris. Idris is our head, of HR here in Joberman, Nigeria. So, put your hands together for him. He's here to help you to network the right way. And we have Timmy Richard Banji, who is the lead talent development, at Mastercard Foundation. Timmy, it's so nice having you here. Welcome,
Yeah,
to
thank you.
ask it.
Thank you. Thanks, Tifa.
All right, you're welcome. So now I'm going to start. Let's just kick start this,
Yes.
on a lighter mode. I want you, that's Idris and Tammy, you're going to share your experience, your worst networking experience so far with us. Tammy, you can go first. Or let me say your funniest networking experience. Can you hear me, Tammy?
Hi, Timmy.
Oh, I think he's having network issues. Idris, you can go.
Okay. Funniest. I think it would be a few years ago, I guess. A few years ago, someone reached out. Walked into the organization I was working for at the time, right? And she's at the reception. Hi, my name is so and so. Hi, my name is Idris. I think we spoke for a minute or two, and
Okay.
she gave me a resume at the time, printed resume. She gave me a resume, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so she asked, "Are you Yoruba?" I'm like, yes. And she had this look on her
Now
face,
we.
right?
Okay.
And I'm like,
Yes.
oh, okay. And the next thing she says is, I think it's best said in Yoruba. And she said, Omo yami, she will for me sheni.
I
I'm
said
like,
it. It is a
I'm
really
like,
something.
Auntie, God, we've barely spoken for 5-10 minutes at the time, and because my name is Idris, she said, "Are you Yoruba?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "How much information?" I cracked up. Okay, so sorry for those who don't understand Yoruba. It literally means, won't you give me a job? So it's like saying someone who Omoyami literally means. I mean, loosely translated means my mother's child, but some way you're just saying, oh, my kinsman, quote unquote, won't you give me a job?
True.
And in a minute, I'm like, I've never even, I don't know anything about you. We barely met for 5 minutes. I've never even taken time to look at your resume, and you say, oh my yeah, I'm training from share. I'm like,
Omo,
oh,
yummy.
sure, no problem. Like, oh my yeah, I'll give you the job now. I mean, I have it all stacked up. But yeah, that
Hmm.
one, that's the funniest, but there's still other slightly untoward ones, but we'll just keep it at funniest right now.
Okay, so
Amy.
Tammy, what about you? What's the funniest, networking experience you had?
Okay, so for me, I think the funniest.
Hmm. You people, we're in Lagos. Doesn't want Tammy to shine this afternoon. Tammy, we can't hear you. You can hear us. Hi, Tammy. Can you hear? Oh, Tammy's network is not great. Uh,
Say, I mean, I reply everyone on LinkedIn. Can you hear
just one
me?
minute. Yes, we can hear you
Yes,
now.
you can. Yes, you can.
Okay. So he reached out to me on LinkedIn and he goes, "Hi, Temitope, nice to connect with you." In my usual self, "Hi, nice to connect with you." And next thing he goes, "Baba, I beg, if Mastercard they recruit your boy there." And I was like, okay. I actually didn't know how to reply.
Oh, network will not allow us to get this full gist now. Um,
I didn't know what to say. But I can hear you guys loud and clear, actually.
yeah, but yours is going off. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. All right. So, I mean, I didn't know how to reply, and I felt that was a very rude way to start a conversation. And I didn't appreciate it. And I actually shared that story with a group of mentees that I was talking to. And I think that's a very annoying way to connect with a potential recruiter.
Yes, it is. So, guys, here we are today teaching you how to network the right way. So, please get ready as I start asking the proper questions. Now, first question here is how can you network with a recruiter on social media? Timmy, you can take it up for us.
Working with a recruiter on social media should not be far-fetched from the way you meet someone physically. Um, but what I would say is for social media, try and research about the recruiter, what kind of industry, because I know some people they recruit strictly for FMCG, some for banking, you know, just try and understand what this recruiter is all about, what kind of roles have they been posting in the past. Um, I mean, understand the recruiter first. Try and follow the
Okay.
recruiter on any platform that you find them. Engage in their conversations. I mean, I personally did that. When I was going to engage with a recruiter, I always made sure every of their posts, I was commenting, I was, sharing my thoughts on whatever the post. So I was literally more or less in the person's face,
Yes, yes, yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah. And when I was going to reach out to the person privately, I started with, "Hi, nice to connect with you. I've been following you for a while. I love what you do. I love, the insights you share. I'm actually in the process of, switching jobs, and I just thought to reach out to you in case there will be anything that, fits my profile." And I got an exciting reply. "Oh, you, thanks for always commenting on the post. Thanks for,
Nice.
always, I like your thoughts as well. I like your ideas. Why do you want to live where you are?" And that was how a conversation started. And then she goes, "You know what? Let's have a conversation this weekend. Let me understand what you want to do." And that
Oh,
was how she gave me a number. And the weekend came, we had an interesting conversation. I didn't get the job she referred me for, but The interview that I attended actually made me realize some areas I needed to improve on, you
Okay.
know. But the fact that that was like a smooth transition, and I appreciate people that approach me that way. There are loads of people that approach me every day. I try to respond to them. For those that come in a way, so for example, some people just send a message, "I'm looking for a job." In my head, I'm like, "So, right?"
Come
And I
and
Like,
deliver
collect
okay,
to,
it.
yeah,
you're
Is
not the
my
first,
work.
you'll not be the
Come and
last.
get
You
it.
get?
you know, that's the way a lot of recruiters are. I mean, you just, I'm
Yeah.
looking for a job. At times, I also, recruiters perceive your level of thinking by some
Mm.
messages you send to them. So I post
Listen
a
to them.
role and there's a link to apply, and
Mm.
you are asking the question, can I apply? Again, that was why I posted it, right? Um,
Yeah.
we people just need to understand, and I don't know how to put it because it's really paining me at times with the way these things happen, right? But I think people need to comport themselves. People need to be very polite. You don't know these recruiters from anywhere.
You
Um,
don't.
approach them the way you would approach them in real life. You know, introduce yourself properly and be
Mm-hmm.
ready to engage in conversations that they are interested in, right?
Sure.
Don't reach
Yes.
out to someone saying, need a job. Don't reach out to someone starting the conversation with, I beg, can I send my CV? And please speak English, proper English. When you're
Mm-hmm.
sending messages, read through your messages again, avoid typos, because that's the beginning of, Ugh, it's a reflection of who you are, right, at the
Yeah.
end of the day. And that contact will determine how the rest of the conversation would go. So I think I'll just stop there.
Okay, thank you so much, Timmy, for that. People, I can see that you're already learning. Speak good English, proper English. Don't just say, I'm looking for a job. Like, there's so many times we say it. You're looking for a job. I'll tell you, you're not the first person. Neither will you be the last. I'll just wish you all the best. Do you get? So you have to sell yourself well. Now, Idris, I know that you recruit a lot, from an HR perspective. I want to find out somebody's asking, how can you connect with an employer after a failed interview?
Okay.
Hmm.
I think that the tricky thing with that is people typically assume if this interview didn't turn out well or the conversation didn't pan out the way I expect it to, why do I still need to, reach out or stay connected?
Yeah.
The first bit is interviews are conversations. I think that's even the first thing to even start with. Interviews are really conversations at the end of the day. We are looking for something, we're looking for a particular person to fill a particular role. In the event that maybe there is one skill or one response you provided that is not particularly what you're looking for at the time, it might make someone else have the edge over you. Now, in the event that we send you an email or we call you to say thank you very much. Unfortunately, blah blah blah. And I know a lot of people have gotten emails like that. I've gotten emails like that in the past. Send a quick email if it's someone you think, okay, you know what, this is still a relationship I want to keep. Right? This is an employer I might still want to work for in the future. A
Mm-hmm.
basic email after you get your rejection email, send a basic email. Thank you very much for the time. Thank you for the opportunity to learn more about this role and the expectations of XYZ. It was good having this moment or this conversation with you. Now, what you've done is you've left a subtle impression with the recruiters that, okay, you know what, this person can handle rejection in a positive manner. Now, guess what? In the event that the top pick for that role can't take the job, something happens, or the recruiter is even just thinking for another role, or someone that says, "Oh, you know what? I need so and so person. I'm looking to fill so and so role." In some
Okay.
cases, your name will become top of mind for the person. I mean, this is something that I know that I've done in the past. I can't remember the interview right now. We're recruiting for a particular role. It didn't turn out well for this particular candidate in that particular point in time. The person reached out to say, "Oh, thank you guys very much for your time," blah blah blah. And it might seem cheesy, like, "Oh, what am I saying thank you after you told me, quote unquote, you broke my heart?
Yeah.
What am I thanking you for?" But the candidate sent that email saying, "Oh, thank you very much." Then started to engage on LinkedIn I put up something on another role, this person is liking, that person is sharing comments. I'm like, oh, okay. My friend reached out to me, another recruiter who is my friend at the time says, oh, you know what, Idris, I'm looking for XYZ person to fill XYZ role. I'm like, you know what, I know a guy. And I called this person up. I sent the resume to the person because I already had the resume because she had applied for a role in the organization I was working for at the time. So I sent the resume to my friend to say, hey, this is a candidate. You might want to, reach out to the person and say, oh, thank you very much, Idris. And the guy got the job. And my friend didn't tell him that, oh, Idris sent me your CV. He didn't say anything.
Oh,
Then yeah, weeks after, they were like, wait, how did I, as in, I didn't apply for this before, you guys called. And he said, oh, yes, so and so person reached out to us because you had this conversation. So, I mean, just basic follow-up email. Thank you very much. Again, like Temi had said earlier, be in your faces, but of course, don't be too pushy, subtle. And eventually, you can strike a conversation and a friendship from that point.
all right. Thank you so much for that, Idris. I hope you people are writing it down. I know you might feel like, why am I sending? Like, you already broke my heart. You're not giving me the job. So why should I still thank you? Like, come on. This person is busy. Still took out time to interview you. So by all means, send it and ensure you engage on social media. You're not in their faces, yes, but you are still in their faces from the comfort of your house. So ensure you put in the work to actually get the job. So the next question will be, how can I sell myself to recruiters for job opportunities? Now, Tammy, since you deal with a lot of talent development, please help us enlighten job seekers on how they can sell themselves better.
All right, thank you. I think I tag myself a salesperson when it comes to selling myself and my skills. Um,
Mhm.
in answering that question, it may sound a bit tough, but it's what it is, to be honest. I think before you sell yourself, you must be equipped with value. I
Mm.
think that's
Be
where
equipped
from.
with
You
value.
must equip yourself with value because at the end of the day, you want to sell something compelling. You want to sell something that is irresistible, right? You want to sell
Yes.
something that there is a need for, right? Um, yeah. So this is what I would say to people: define your career path first, right?
Okay.
Once you've defined your career path, look out for what it takes to excel in their career path and start developing yourself. Start taking personal learning serious. Start volunteering. Start looking out for internships. Start looking for opportunities to display those things, right? And once you've equipped yourself and you want to reach out to a recruiter, it's easier for you to tell a recruiter that, hi, I saw you posted this role, you are recruiting for this role. I am so person. I have so qualifications. I have so experience. Um, Talk about why your experience is valuable. Maybe they are recruiting for FMCG sector, or if you know the specific company, do your research about that company. I know this company does XYZ. These are their values. These are my values, and this is how it ties to this company. I'll give you an example, right, of how I sold myself into HR.
Mm.
For a very long time in my career, those that know me very well, I got into mainstream HR just about barely 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. However, I was able to sell myself to move from a finance background to a bit of consulting and all that to HR. Um, all through my career, I had done one or two things that were HR related,
Okay.
but I didn't have the title HR. So I've done learning and development. I started at recruitment as a manager. I started when they were recruiting people. So I knew the process of recruitment end to end. I had developed KPIs in the place where I was working. I used to conduct appraisal. So I understood performance management, right?
Okay.
I was happy hour champion somewhere. I used to think through employee initiatives and well-being. I didn't know that was what they call employee engagement, right? So I
Okay.
had done different things in the course of my career. And when it was time to sell myself, I told the person, they said, but you've never done HR. I said, but everything I've done sits under HR and I can run you through the process. Aside this, I have volunteered here as an HR, as a recruiter. I had volunteered, to sit on interview panels. I've volunteered to help conduct assessments. And this is consulting. Consulting is the um, knowledge career path, right? I don't necessarily need to have held HR titles. I don't necessarily need to have had an HR certification before I can explain to you and actually do the job, right? And I give examples of the projects that I've done. I've done a culture transformation project. I've done change management project, even when I was in HR. But all those skills that I've acquired from different career paths was what I brought together to make a compelling case to be given a chance to work in HR, right? So for me, I would say the best way to sell yourself is to equip yourself with knowledge, equip yourself with value, do research to understand what is happening in your space, and based on that research, that you can actually hit the nail, right? Now, during my interview with the Mastercard Foundation, I did my research on projects they were working on. I did my research, I looked for articles, I looked for some of their publications, and I saw a need they needed to fill, right? And I positioned myself by saying, as a talent development person, right, I actually fit into what you're trying to do, trying to provide 30 million jobs for young Africans, right? My role is very critical, and I keyed into their vision, and I think that was quite impressive. So I think a lot of people need to do more research, equip yourself with knowledge, get information, and keep adding value, and it will be easier for you to sell yourself.
All right. Thank you for that, Tammy. And I hope, one thing that he said struck me. He said, equip yourself with knowledge and value. Because honestly, you can't give what you don't have. If you don't know it, you cannot do the job. Do you understand? So learn to build yourself as well. And those things will help you, to sell yourself to recruiters and even hiring managers. Now, my next question will be for both Idris and Tammy. What are some networking do's and don'ts? Networking
Okay.
do's and don'ts. So Idris,
Um,
you can go first.
do's and don'ts. I think that okay. First off, let's even. I mean, everyone should understand that the rationale behind networking, right, quote and unquote, is
Yeah.
developing mutually beneficial relationships. It's, trust me, not just a one-way street. It's on both ends, right? So I would
Yeah.
say do's and don'ts for me. For the do's, one, Tammy had mentioned a lot in this conversation, and I'll just pick that as the first pointer. Do your research, right? Do your research. For recruiters, in some cases, they might be working on generic roles, right? But a lot of people sometimes have areas or industries of specialization. So do your research first. Find out if this recruiter, for example, works for or works best with roles in particular sectors, tech, financial services. Do your research first. Second thing is get your elevator speech right. Now, people would assume, oh, elevator speech might only work if I'm seeing this person physically. No, same works for online platforms as well. And in for online platforms, LinkedIn, whatever one it's using, keep your message short, concise, but it should have enough about you for the person to make a decision, right? So short, precise, but let it also capture a lot of things about you. I would also say endeavor to maintain these relationships. That's also something that you should do. So Tammy had mentioned something which I get a lot, you get a lot. If a lot of people in HR will get this a lot. People are reaching out to you almost every other day. It's hard for
Yeah.
me to keep track if I have tens or hundreds of requests on a day-to-day basis. So what differentiates you or what puts you at top of mind as opposed to the 1,000,001 other people who are reaching out is how you engage, how you ensure that you try from your end to maintain that relationship. Um, make sure your profile is also up to date. So if you're using LinkedIn, for example, is your profile up to date? Does it capture the entirety of your experiences? Do you have all of that written clearly. Just so if I mean, looking at your profile, one glance, I can make a decision that, okay, you know what, this person has done X, this person has done Y, this person has learned this person has learned that, has this skill. Ensure that, you know, your profile is up to date. That would be for the do's for me. Then don't, one, inappropriate words slash jargon slash slangs slash improper use of English. Please get this. I mean, that's like a major turn off. If we are not
Yeah.
friends like that, or we are not cool like that, don't send that first message and you say, "Hello, fine girl." I know someone who is a lady, my friend, a recruiter, and
Hello,
she told me,
pretty.
don't reach out to her. "Hello, pretty." And I'm like,
Hello, dear.
guys, hello, dear. I'm not your dear. You don't know me from anywhere. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Who's your dear?
That
Uh,
who is your dear? Another don't for me would be this. Now, as much as you know, we encourage people to reach out, also respect people's private time and their private spaces, right? Don't reach out to someone at odd hours. You're calling someone at 11, you're sending me a message at 12 a.m., you're reaching out to me on a weekend, or if I mean, I get it. There's the need for, you know, being proactive, and that's totally fine. But just ensure you're not, you know, feeling entitled and getting into people's private spaces. Yeah, I'll let him say whatever it is that he thinks as do's and don'ts if I take all of the time.
All right. I think you've pretty much said everything. I'm just also going to, I think I made a list of some things. I would start with, I'll start by saying, don't get too personal. I mean, which is something Idris already mentioned. I'm just putting it in a different way. Don't get too personal. You don't know this person. This person doesn't know you. Um, I mean, don't get too personal. I don't know how best to put it again. Um, I would say try to be their friend, you know, and how can you be their friend? Engage in conversations that, you know, maybe someone posts something, engage in that conversation. If you have an idea, if you have an opinion, you can reach out to the person
Sure.
personally and professionally, right? So yeah, keep things short and sweet. Keep things very short and sweet. Go straight to the point. Just keep it very short, be warm, be friendly, share some accolades and compliments if need be. Information about you should be concise and interesting, which is the elevator pitch that Idris talked about. It's all about you. Just go straight to the point. This is who I am. This is what I have, and this is what I can do, and this is what I am looking for. Right? Do something to make yourself memorable. I mean, a couple of things you can do to make yourself memorable. It could be, you know, you are engaging in the post, you are resharing their post, you are commenting on their post, you know, just do something to make yourself memorable. Bonding, look for commonalities to bond. So there are some people when I needed to get to them, right? I followed them on not just on LinkedIn. I followed them on Instagram. I followed them on Facebook, and you know, I saw someone that actually was a fan of Formula One. I'm a diehard fan of Formula One, right? And you know, I started commenting on the person. Or whenever I post something, I'll probably say, "Oh, this person, this rider did this, this rider did that." You know. So when we bonded on LinkedIn, oh, my Formula One guy, you know, made the relationship sync, you know,
yeah.
so
Yes.
bond very well. Follow up, look for a reason to follow up a few days and weeks later. As much as possible, don't send recruiters a message. Bear in mind that some of us, we get, if I'm not going to exaggerate, we get over 100 new messages every day on LinkedIn. You know,
Yeah.
people trying to connect, people will send unsolicited CVs, people will just say hi and you say hello and they never reply you again, right? All sorts. So don't think recruiters intentionally ignore your messages. Again,
Yeah.
if the message makes sense, trust me, there is no way I would not come back to it, right? Which leads me to the don'ts, right? Don't wait too late to start networking.
Yeah.
If you see someone that you feel this person is posting things that you are interested in, connect with the person. Let's connect, introduce yourself. Don't be afraid to introduce yourself. I mean, it's social media. They are not going to slap you. They are not going to beat you. They are not going to shout at you or insult you. Last, it will become an oversight, or they would not reply, or they will just say, "I'm sorry, I can't help you." But don't be afraid to introduce yourself. Don't be too thirsty, right? If you think someone is not interested, then just move on.
Let
You
them
know, I've reported a few pages on LinkedIn for what I tagged harassment. So you send me a message, I sent you a link to apply for a job, and you came back to say, "Oh, you've not heard from them," and I'm like, the best I can do was to refer you, and
Yeah.
you come with me saying, "Oh, you're not even helping me. You're not giving me feedback. You don't reply to my messages on time. You don't this." I have to report the page, right? Because again, as professionals, we shouldn't exchange words with these guys. So
Yeah.
a lot of times people will just ignore you. Check it again. You must have crossed the line, right? Don't stay silent on conversations, right? So if someone is engaging you, feel free to always, you know, also interact, engage, like, relike, reshare, whatever. Just make sure you're engaging in conversations. Don't ask for a job immediately.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
don't ask for a job immediately, right? It's like a relationship. You meet a girl for the first time, or a girl meets a guy for the first time because it's happening now, right? And you're saying, "Can I be your girlfriend or can I be your boyfriend?" Like you're just meeting me. I don't even know you, right?
what if I'm a
It's a
serial killer?
major Exactly. So make sure it's a relationship. It's a relationship. You need to build it. You need to groom it. You need to nurture it, right? And before you know it, you know, all those giving of gifts, love language will start coming into it, which is referring you for jobs. That will be the act of service that would come into play. The kind words. You need to. We need to treat it like a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Um, Idris has said the other things. Don't call outside odd hours. I've gotten calls at 10:30 p.m. Sorry, I saw you on LinkedIn. I wanted to talk about this job. I mean, if I don't know you, or I've never heard of you, or I've not seen you, I'm not going to, entertain that kind of conversation, right? And don't put pressure on recruiters, please and please. There's so much pressure. You're not replying me. I didn't get a feedback. I didn't this. I didn't that. Don't put pressure on recruiters. So I would say just to collaborate with what Idris said. Those are my own few do's and don'ts.
Yeah, thank you so so much. Please don't put pressure. One time I didn't even know my number was on LinkedIn, and somebody applied for a job on our platform, and he kept on harassing me. Hi, I just applied for this job. At the point I was confused, like, wait, how did you get my number? And he said I got it from LinkedIn. I'm like, okay. Then I even try, okay, send me the link. Let me see. He sent it just to be sure. I had to remove my number. I was even confused. He just kept on harassing me. And at the point, I legit had to block him. So please do not harass these people because, they're just doing their jobs. And one thing struck out for me, from what Timmy said, he said it's like a relationship. The love languages, 5 love languages. It's not just the regular one that you see that I'm giving you gifts. Your gift can be an offer, so you just have to interpret it, in a professional sense and not the relationship, sense. So guys, please let's try to like use this and trust me, you will get a job. Now I have a very interesting question here. I'm looking for how I will make it. It's like about three. I want to make it into one. Now, somebody is saying, what are recruiters looking out for? Then he's also asking, is having experience, is it a requirement to getting a job? Then the third one will now be around, oh, I'm an entry level person. How do I get a job in an oil and gas, all these tier one companies? How do I get a job there? So, yeah.
Okay. So, what are recruiters looking for?
Yes.
Okay. The next one was on entry level.
Yes, entry level.
requirements.
I'm talking about experience. Do I need an experience for, to get the job? How
Okay.
relevant is having experience? Yes.
Okay, so I would say that what recruiters are looking out for, first off, would be, say, unique to whatever role it is that the recruiter is sourcing for at the particular point in time, right? However, there are, generic skills, soft skills that beyond technical skills every recruiter is looking out for. So you're looking out for a person's, teamwork ability. You're thinking of how adaptive is this person, how reliable will this person be, how can you rate this person's communication skills and abilities, right? So all of these things are the softer elements of what recruiters might be looking out for any day, anytime. So for technical, requirements, that's job specific. If I'm looking to hire a marketing campaign specialist, the technical skills for that role is unique to that role. If I'm looking to hire a talent acquisition partner, the skills I'm looking for, technical skills, is unique to that particular role. But across board, soft skills, are important, right? So these are the generic ones everybody should have. And I mean, without trying to toot our horns too much, that's even, one of the key things that Jobberman has been championing for well over a year now. So if you go to our platform, jobberman.com/soft skills, you find the training there. It's totally free. Learn a lot of these things. These are areas that, I think that a lot of people are also struggling with, right? Technical skills might get you the job in terms of the technical competence required to, get the job. But what keeps you in the job? How do you thrive at the job? Soft skills are important. Then is experience important for someone, or how would we manage that? Now, for entry level roles, right? I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm sure. I mean, Tammy and yourself would most likely agree with me on this. For entry level roles, the expectation is not a lot in terms of technical abilities, right? It is more on the softer elements. Is this person teachable? Does this person have a positive demeanor? Can I trust this person? Does this person look like someone who would be professional and has integrity? Um, all these are softer areas that, people would typically look out for entry level roles. Um, I know that that question would pop off a lot, because people would say, "Oh, you fresh graduates, we want you to have 10 years experience." We are not. I mean, in some cases, yes, that might happen, but more. I mean, a lot of the time, for entry level roles, the expectation is more on your soft skills, right? Not your technical abilities. Then the third part of the question was for someone who is moving industries. Was that what it was, Tife?
No, not moving industries. It's more about. Sorry, 1 minute. Let me get my questions ready. No, it was more about still the same entry level positions. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean that's about it for me. I don't know if there's anything Timmy wants to add.
Okay. I mean, this is a very interesting question for me, and
Yeah.
I know you've answered it. I would also just provide another context to it, just to corroborate with what you've said. What are recruiters looking for? Recruiters are looking for people that will do the job. First thing first. Recruiters don't just post jobs for the purpose of posting and all that. So I would say recruiters are looking for people that have soft skills. Very, very important. I wasn't surprised Idris had his Jobberman elevator pitch ready. But yeah,
I mean, ready to go.
please and please, I mean, reach out to Jobberman for your soft skills. It's extremely important, right? Um, and soft skills, the beauty of soft skills is it cuts across every level on your career journey. Whether you're an entry level or you're a CEO, you need the problem solving skills, you need the creativity, you need innovation, right? You need critical thinking, right? Those are soft skills. Recruiters are very big on soft skills. Technical competency, of course, recruiters are looking out for you exhibiting some technical competencies in the particular role that you've applied for. Behavioral competencies. This is a is a deal breaker for me as a recruiter and a lot of value driven organizations. You may have the best degree, you may have all the skills, you may have the soft skills, but if you lack behavioral competencies, it's a deal breaker. And why? Because if you fail on behavioral competencies, it means you are not going to be a value fit for the organization in terms of the organization's values, right? And you would not be a culture fit. So recruiters are looking for value alignment and they're looking for culture fit when it comes to recruitment. Is experience important? Maybe this is a bit of my personal opinion, right? I always say it in a very big capital yes. YES. Experience is extremely important. We had an interesting session yesterday where this word came out. You cannot sacrifice experience on the altar of certification.
Hmm.
It's extremely important. Now, the question would now be for fresh graduates, right? I don't have experience. What are my chances? Right. So you don't have experience, and we understand that you don't have experience. But by all means, I encourage fresh graduates to apply for graduate trainee roles, graduate entry roles. There are some roles that they will say 1 to 2 years experience, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably because we are still in Nigeria and Nigeria does not value the experience a lot of people get during NYSC, right? But I always tell people that even while you are a student, and I think we need to start driving this message even down to universities, take your summer job serious. Rather than spending time during summer jobs, take your summer job serious. Take your
Yeah.
NYSC serious. Um, look for opportunities to volunteer, look for opportunities to intern. I know the economy is hard and I'm not oblivious of that, but I always smile when I ask, young people, oh, there's an internship opportunity somewhere. And the first question I get is how much, right? Because at the end of the day, I mean, people's circumstances are different, but I think if you have experience, you stand a better chance of getting a job than someone with zero experience. So I always tell people to look out for opportunities to gain experience. During the summer holidays, look for opportunities to volunteer. It could be a small business, right? Don't focus on the money at that point in time, right? Just gain that experience, know how organizations work. So that would be my advice. Then the third question, I think I lost track of that.
Yeah. It was basically around experience and how recruiters, how to attract recruiters.
Okay.
So
So
no, you can go.
yeah,
You can finish.
I think we should just focus on looking for the pathways of getting that experience. Another pathway to getting experience is actually entrepreneurship, right? I know people who have transitioned from being entrepreneurs to become, 9 to 5 guys. Why? Because from their business, they've understood the fact that you have to get to your work early. You have to put proper systems and structures in place. You have to, treat your customers nice. You have to be responsive. And yeah, so I think that would be my response.
All right, thank you so much. So for me to add, we're running a campaign now on the best match product. And one of the things we encourage job seekers to do on our platform is to ensure that your profiles are 100% complete, not 90, not 88, not 99, 100%. So that, it's an ATS, pretty much like Control F, find. So when I impute my JD into the ATS, it will look for what, like, the keywords I've already imputed for my JD, and it is your CV that will come out. So once you do that, it enables, recruiters find you easily on our platform. So please, if you know that, we have some people 35% and then you're still applying for jobs, chances of people reaching out to you it will be very low. So please ensure that your profiles are 100%. Okay, so this brings me to my next question about CVs. CVs, we always say that is the first selling point. This is what recruiters will see. As a fresh graduate, for example, myself, I don't know how to write CVs. or even as an experienced professional, I still do not know how to sell myself properly via CV. Is it, can I pay someone, to help me write it? Do you think it is possible? Do you think it is something I should do? Idris, do you want to take it?
Uh, so yes, I think you should pay someone
Nice
if
smiley.
you feel no. So it's
I
a. I
mean,
mean,
Idris is doing
people.
business.
What is it?
No, I mean you can get that from Jobberman. But there are two ends to it, right? In responding to it, the first bit would be if you take now soft skills training, right, off the
Yeah.
Jobberman
Yeah.
platform. One of the things you would learn is how to write your CV, right?
Okay.
On the
Yeah.
events that you've learned this, and you still feel there is a lot more to your experience, to what you've done in the past or currently, and you feel you need an experienced professional to get that done and capture all of your experience, then yes, go ahead and get that done. Something that I was going to say while Timmy was talking a few minutes ago, as regards entrepreneurs who transition into 9 to 5. One of the key, I think, mistakes a lot of people have made is assuming if I run a business, if I'm an entrepreneur, you can't capture that as experience. I think that's also, an error a lot of people make. If you know how to actually properly write your resume, you would find out that a lot of things that you've done as an entrepreneur are transferable skills that you can bring to quote unquote corporate organizations, 9 to 5s. So yes, I mean, I think it's important to engage the services of professionals to write your resume. And I'm sure again, I'm not going to do this a lot of times, but it's one of the services we render at Jobberman, and the turnaround time is 3-5 days,
Yeah.
if I'm correct.
Yes.
So
3 to 5 days.
yes, the entire conversation, the back and forth you would have, just so the entirety of your experience is captured. I think yes, it's one thing I would advise anyone to do.
All right. So like Idris said, if you want us to help you, write your CV, just send an email to jobberman.com/CV services and someone will attend to you. I'll say it again, jobberman.com/CV services. My colleague will put it, in the comment section rather. So now I'm going to be taking questions from the comment section. If you have anything, please let us know. I know that a lot of people have questions. We're talking about networking. This is Corona is still alive in Nigeria. So it's not like we can, organize a full blown event and networking happens on LinkedIn, on Instagram, Twitter for all of you using VPN, and Facebook, is still happening. So my colleague will also drop a link that you can ask your questions and we will attend to them and, push it on a blog post, really. So let me just scroll to see. Tammy, do you have anything to say about getting a professional help you write your CV?
Yeah, I think Idris has said the best thing. If you're getting a professional, get a professional, right? But when you're paying some individuals, to write your CV, um, that person probably does not even that person's CV has not even crossed, the first stage of a recruitment process, and the person is helping you write a CV. So I've seen people who have paid people to write CVs for them, and I'm wondering, how did this CV come about? So I would say if you're getting a professional, get a professional, like Idris have said, www.jobberman.com/CVs
CV
dash service.
services. Yeah.
Yeah, I think get a proper professionals, people that are hiring managers that knows what a proper CV that would scale through looks like. Don't waste your money on paying people that they cannot even write their own CVs. You know, it's these are things that I get a lot, especially when you're offering some sort of counseling and advisory to people. The other thing is I think there's been a lot of misconceptions about the structure of CV, right? Too many people have been teaching how to write CV, and it's confusing a lot of young people today. Some will say, oh, they said start with your education. Some will say they said start with your experience. Some will say they said put your age. Don't put your age. Now there's one that's trending. Don't put your address. There's a lot of misconception about
People are also
CVs.
adding pictures to their resumes now.
Exactly. I would just say keep your CV very simple. Focus on what makes you a suitable candidate. And if you
Yes.
ask me what that is your experience and your skills. So I think you need to elaborate on your skills. Have a very solid profile summary. I tell people, this is my own opinion now, right? I tell people to keep their profile summary very simple, because your profile summary can say, I was talking to someone yesterday, his profile summary was reading, looking for opportunities in chemical engineering, right? And I'm asking myself, everything I can see here, this guy with the skills he had, he can fit into a supply chain role, he can fit into strategy consulting role. But maybe it's just me. When I see you're specific about what you want, I'll I start to just okay, maybe I'll keep it aside and I'll come back in case I don't find any other suitable candidate. So focus on your skills, focus on your ability to work in an organization. But if you are very specific about the industry that you're going in, for someone like me now, I know I'm in HR. The only thing I can do is add to my HR, right? So I make it very clear on my profile. I'm very good at change management, learning and development. I make it very clear. But for young people, keep it very open as much as possible. And the rest, I mean, focus on just showcasing your skills. I don't believe in any of those structures, education first. Again, I just keep it simple.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have 9 minutes on the clock, and someone asked a question. He said he has been applying on LinkedIn, but he's only fake people that used to reply to him. So in like maybe like two sentences, how will we know the companies that are real?
Okay. Um, so he has been applying on LinkedIn, and you can't tell if the company is genuine.
Yes,
Two
only
things from
maybe
you,
all
right?
these people that are reaching out to him.
Okay. Um, three things. Three things. First would be when you're researching an organization on LinkedIn, in some cases, check the organization, check the profile of the organization on LinkedIn. And most times, most organizations would typically have a pop-up for jobs, right? Those are jobs that the organization is looking to recruit for at a particular point in time. Check those places. If it is listed out, then check the digital footprint of the organization off LinkedIn, right? Quick Google search. What's the name of the organization you're looking for? What's the role it is that you're applying for? Most times you find that this organization or any organization will have some form of digital footprint. In the event that you can't find anything or is a bit sketchy and you can't trust it, I would advise against it. One. Two would be also to I think that another thing people do not maximize is the connections slash friendships that they have, right? I'm going for an interview, for example, and the name of the company is Ajanle Koko and Sons, whatever the name that is, and I don't know the organization from anywhere. Tife is my friend. Temi is my friend. Tife might know someone that knows someone. Temi might know someone
Mm,
that knows someone. Oh, Temi, I have this interview. I am applying for this role on so and so place. Do you know this organization? Have you heard this organization before? Do you know anyone that might know this organization? He says, oh, you know what? Give me a minute or two. Let me call. Let me make a few calls. And he gets back to me and says, oh, Idris, yes, it's a genuine organization. I know these guys. Go ahead and apply. But once you don't know anyone in the organization, none of your connections can tell or can vouch for the organization, most likely
mm,
it's a fake role. Um, Third thing would be to, and check proper career platforms that list jobs, right? More than half the time, there will be the employers that they are, and the jobs that they are putting up are verified roles, verified organizations. Now, I mean, for Jobberman, we have close to 70,000 employer partners. So you're looking for a role and you're on Jobberman website. every organization that is there is an organization that is verified. We've done our due diligence before putting these guys out there. So you can be sure that, okay, you know what, this organization is trusted. I can go ahead and apply for these roles. So if you do, I mean, those three things, I think that, um, and the world is a really small place. You'll be shocked. The world is a really, really, really small place. People know people that know people. And that's how
Yeah.
sometimes you find this information that you think you're looking for. So yes, that's about it for me.
Okay, Timmy, we have 5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, I think Idris has said it all. To be
Okay.
honest, just use your connection, and again, if you're looking for jobs, um, go to the right channel. Well, not necessarily right channel, but follow reputable recruiting organizations because they are legit. I think that's pretty much it.
All right. Thank you so much. Before we close, I know some people are already asking, what's your name on LinkedIn? What's your name on this? So please let them know so that they can connect with you. People, don't forget, please let's be polite. They will accept you, they will, they'll be friendly with you, but please let's be polite. Tammy, what's your name on LinkedIn? Idris, what's your name on LinkedIn?
I'm Temitope Richard Banji on LinkedIn.
Okay, Idris.
Idris Abdul Ghaffar.
All right. And I am Boluwatife Ainde for people that are asking. So I have one last question. We have 4 minutes. Please tell us about ATS methods of CV selection. They want to learn.
Okay. Okay. So the first bit is right. What I think people should also understand what an ATS is, right?
Yeah.
Basically, at the end of the day, ATS literally is just it's a tracking system, right? That collates quote and unquote resumes, and it is benchmarking these resumes against keywords, like you had mentioned.
Mm,
So it is an applicant tracking system, right? You have a role, you put this role up. 10 people have applied for the role. Now I'm looking for keywords. Say I'm looking at talent acquisition partner, for example, and I've put words such as dexterity in recruitment, for example, and this is me just using this as a generic example, right? As one of the competencies I'm looking for. Now,
yeah.
once this ATS gathers all of the resumes from the applicants, what it does, I mean, properly would do is to track these resumes against these filters and benchmarks that I've already set earlier. Then typically the best fit would be what pops up more than half the time. And that's what, recruiters would go ahead with. So for applicants, for candidates, for job seekers who are looking to, apply for roles for organizations, key thing to do is look at the job description for the role that you're applying for. What are the keywords you think you can deduce off it? How best can you, incorporate these keywords in your resume? And then once you apply using those keywords, I mean, as benchmark or as pointers in your resume, you realize you get more feedback than you would have. So yes, that's about it.
All right. Thank you so much, Idris. Innocent, we just talked about this thing. You come, you say, please, I need a job. You saying it doesn't help us to help you. You do not network this way, all right? In case you missed like the beginning part of the session, it will be on YouTube, it is on Facebook, so you can go back, and watch it. Do you understand? All right, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. Team Tokwe, it was really nice having you here.
Thank
Idris, it
you.
was really nice having you here. Tife, oh, it was really nice having you here. All right.
Yes, it
So we have
was.
two
It was.
minutes on the clock. Any final words, to job seekers, to people looking to switch industries, career path, final words for them?
Timmy?
Okay. Yeah, I would just say, please don't be discouraged. People are saying there are no jobs, there are no jobs, but I tell you it's a lie. There are jobs, and there are jobs, and more jobs are coming up. However, what is changing is the skills required for the jobs of the future. So I encourage everyone to read about the future of work, read about the skills required for you to thrive in the future of work, and I can assure you, you will be fine.
All right. Thank you so much, Tammy. Idris, final words?
Um, Final words.
Yes.
Networking is a relationship building process. Understand that it's all about value. It's supposed to be mutually beneficial to both parties. Keep it polite, keep it nice, trust the process, add value to yourself a lot. Think of, what more can you do, what more can you learn, and at the end of the day, trust me, you'll be fine. You'll do just all right.
All right. Thank you so much. Don't forget, there's a link in the
Thank you.
comment section where you can ask your questions and we will attend to them, via a blog post. It was really nice having you guys here today. It's 2 o'clock and we call it a day. Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.
Cheers.